I know you, Moonchild, by the ocean depth of your emotions, the heights that your imagination can reach, by the chains of sensation that link one heart to another and create the need for people to be close to one another. I know you by all the candles burning in windows that say, "This is home. There is warmth here, and safety, and love."
I have seen you, Cancer, making your daily journey between heaven and hell, running the emotional scale, making a symphony of every note, wringing it dry, always absorbing everything like a patient, soft sponge, using patience as the key for opening the doors.
I have heard you, Moonchild, your voice following the change of the tide, your laughter floating on the dark sea, and your tears on the sobbing wind, saying in a million ways again and again, "I feel, I truly feel." And you do, Moonchild, you really do.
Cancer, your word is tenacious, from the Latin tenaces, which means holding tight.
Should you have the idea that an employer is someone to con, that the formula for work is 40% effort and 60% coffee breaks, small talk, and excuses, if work is a necessary evil, don't work for a Cancer. Intuition is his thing, and he'll have you charted on a built-in radar screen each moment of the working day. You won't know how he knows things. He doesn't. He picks them out of the air. There is only one word a Cancer knows in business. That word is more. More effort, more product, more profit. The crab combines the hard shell of practicality with the soft inner stuff of imagination and intuition, which spells for a successful leader. The only trouble is, if he likes you, you'll find it hard to quit. Cancers don't like to let go of anything.
You need an extra hand right now. It's a scheme, and you want someone to go along. If it hits, it'll be a real killer. But presently, all you can pay is, well, not much. If that's your story, don't hire a Cancer. He's not looking for a big killing. He wants to put something solid together. He believes in the sure thing and the sure dollar. He may bet a long shot at the track, but he doesn't gamble much with time or energy. A position must offer him a chance to build a future and to feather his nest. In return, you'll get a full effort, a reliable worker, and he'll go round the clock when he has to. He'll hang on until the thing is done. And if you forget to write something down, ask him. He'll remember. Cancers don't like to let go of anything. What makes Cancer feel? The moon is a convertible planet, totally responsive to the suggestion of all the other planets, causing the Cancer native to receive all the planetary vibrations, to expand and contract with the expansion and contraction of the moon, to exist in a sea of sensation, imagination, and emotion. The moon is feminine and negative, more sensitive to feeling than to thought.
What makes Cancer tenacious? The moon rules the fluids, including the inner juices of human beings, that which assimilates and feeds the body. So the crab feeds his astral brain, assimilating and distributing all he receives slowly until it becomes a part of him.
What makes Cancer domestic? The moon dominates the domestic urges. As the ocean produces a crab with a protective shell, so the Cancer native seeks the protection of home, the security of loved ones, and the inside warmth of being needed.
What makes the moon child? Emotion. Because the moon is emotion, and the moon rules Cancer. When the sun is in Cancer and the moon in Aries, the desire to be acknowledged is strong. The crab absorbs and the ram expresses. So the I feel and I am are going to be known by the world, even though your world may not extend beyond your immediate circle of family and friends. As independent and rebellious as you may appear at times, you achieve your best results where people are involved.
The Moonchild's moon in Taurus indicates a native heavy with imagination. Imagination which has an offbeat quality that bears your unmistakable signature. You are also able to change with purpose and adapt with ease. You can sense the shifting of trends as they begin and end, and can work them to great personal advantages. The crab receives the impressions, and the bull knows what to do with them.
With the Cancer moon in Gemini, to know is to grow, and the moon child's susceptibility to suggestion is given an opportunity to absorb knowledge and to thrive on it. There's a struggle with self-control and a tendency to turn yourself inside out for all the world to see. A few secrets of their own never hurt anyone. The more you reveal, the more vulnerable you are.
The sun in Cancer and the moon in Cancer can sometimes be too much of a good thing, the good thing being the need to feel. With you, too much is not always enough, and your emotional appetite increases with intake. So life can never convince you either with sympathy, love, or friendship, because you simply can't get enough proof that these feelings truly exist.
The sun and the moon come together when the Cancer moon is in Leo. The romantic tendency of the Moonchild is intensified and heated to a sensual boil by the lion's fever. In affairs of the heart and the flesh, you are an extremist. But in matters of the mind, the cool face of the moon shows and keeps thought controlled, giving you the best of most situations.
The mind which analyzes the emotions before either are prepared to question wisely or answer honestly creates in the young a confusion which leads to hypersensitivity. This is the early dilemma of the Moonchild's moon in Virgo, and this struggle between a deeply feeling native and a very critical mind results in unique understanding. You are aware of your own motives and the motives of others, and this is a big edge to have going for you.
A crab with the moon in Libra is an observer first and a participant second. You have an oriental delicacy, a quiet approach to life and to people. You enter cautiously and reveal yourself slowly. You seem to be closer to the emotional expression of others than you are to the people themselves. But once you believe in someone, you are able to commit yourself in deeply personal terms.
Idealist Cancer is converted into a realist when the moon is in Scorpio. The water sign is changed into a dollar sign, and the sidewise walking, home-loving crab becomes the forward-moving, sensation-seeking scorpion. The quality of being receptive is changed to the need to dominate. If you are man or woman, the opposite sex gravitates to you, literally hypnotized by your energy, self-sufficiency, and power.
If you have a big enough bow and a long enough arrow, you can hit infinity right in the center. At least, that's what you believe if you're a moon child with your moon in Sagittarius. Only one thing is wrong. No one is big enough to pick up and string such a bow and aim such an arrow. Nevertheless, you will always get an A for effort, and quite often a high mark on result. You have two very heavy things going for you: courage and luck.
The crab is tenacious and the goat is ambitious, and when the moon is in Capricorn, chances are the crab will have something to hold on to, because this native is extremely acquisitive. He wants to own, wants to rise, wants affection, respect, and position. He wants a great deal. The only thing he must define is if he acquires for the purpose of impressing others or to truly fulfill himself.
Cancer with an Aquarian moon indicates a broadening of emotional values, so that they reach beyond the moon child's home and embrace a larger world. You are the combination that can truly turn all the world into a stage. You communicate feelings on a large scale and create a warm sense of well-being in all who are subjected to your positive and electric personality. Your main concern should be, what gaineth a man if he gets all the applause and loses himself?
Two water signs which add to each other. Cancer with the moon in Pisces. You stay close to home, but never shut yourself in, or lock your doors, or draw your blinds. That's why you always know what is happening out there. Your vision is clear, and so is the road to success. You are truly a practical dreamer, and dreams work for you. Sometimes you're suspicious in relationships, but once convinced, you are a loyal, generous, sincere lover or friend. Two is the number of wisdom of the self, and the true Cancer is master of his moods. Two is the number of reflection, and the moon child is the mirror of all emotions. Two is the indication of receptivity, and the Cancer born is always in the process of absorbing ideas and conditions. Two is the symbol of alternation, and the crab is a native of extremes, living in a perpetual state of change. Two is the number of dependency, and moon children suffer intensely when lonely. Two is the number that creates life, and two people shelter and protect it. This is at the core of Cancer's existence. Two is the occult designation of the life force in living things.
Pearls are born in the sea and of the sea, forming slowly in layers in which the rhythm, the deep changing tides and currents, the calm and the storms are molded into beauty and value within a living thing. So the moonchild molds into his being the rhythm, tides and currents, calm and storms of man's emotions. Pearls are a magnet, drawing men down to ocean beds with their luster and their value, just as the Cancer is a magnet, drawing all things to him. But the crab has this to know: should the shells which contain the secret of the pearl seal themselves too tightly or bury themselves too deeply in the ocean floor, their exquisite possessions could be lost forever and wasted in darkness.
Color Cancer everything. As silver as the midnight sea can be when the light is pale. As yellow roses, or tulips, or daisies, when they live in the souls of dreamers. Or as yellow as a moon-kissed orange, or a sun-kissed morning. For the crab owns them all, absorbs them all, until they color the walls of his shell. A painting dedicated to all that he feels. But you, Moonchild, must learn that one can become a victim of his feelings, lose hold on the other world and drown in a sea of emotion, sentimentality, and sensationalism.
So, Cancer, play host to all your moods, nourish your secrets like the pearl, bathe your moments in all the emotional colors. Just keep in mind, colors are only part of a painting, and every painting is not a self-portrait.
In love, Cancer? Oh, you won't tell. You'll withdraw into your crab shell, keeping an eye on the moon. But of course you're in love. The visions of home, domestic bliss, and truly belonging are filling your nights and your days. And yet, the acceptance of a new reality means letting go of the present one, and letting go of something isn't easy for you to do.
In love with a Cancer man, my girl? You are now on an emotional roller coaster. What he feels is what you've got, and that could be anything at any time. His highs and his lows may be difficult to keep up with. However, under that rising and falling emotional tide, there is a man who really believes that a home is the backbone of his existence. And he will mean it when he shares his life with you. And it will probably be a satisfying life, based on security and affection. All you have to do is love him enough to let him have his emotional binges, and have the Bloody Marys ready when he wakes up next morning, or an ice pack for his heart.
In love with a Cancer girl, my boy? Well, I hope you like the blues, and the lonely 2 a.m. sound, because you're going to hear many choruses. I also hope you like to laugh, because she'll break you up intentionally, unintentionally, for hours at a time. The truth is, I hope you like everything. That's what you're going to get. This is a Moonchild, and she waxes and she wanes and loses and gains in perfect sympathy with the lunar cycle. She won't just accept you, she'll absorb you, and once she does, you're there for the duration. This is a beautiful woman who will make you a home. She will come to you with memories and faith, and a talent for believing in you that makes you far more than what you are. All you need is an ear for music, a feeling for the blues, and of course, a good sense of humor.
Out of love, Cancer? Can't shake it. It's that memory of yours. Just won't let go of yesterday. When you recover enough to try again, make it a Pisces or a Scorpio. In the meantime, remember, sometimes you just have to let go.
The Cancer child begins with an inborn need to feel. Nothing escapes him. The crab, who has as yet developed no hard outer shell to protect him, is vulnerable and fearful that his defenselessness will be apparent and taken advantage of. In the beginning, his family and his house are his shell, and the sense of this never deserts him. Home will always be the safest place of all. The Moonchild will laugh and cry practically in the same breath, and have a flair for self-dramatizing that may be with him all his life. This is a loving and affectionate child who will never quite fall out of love with his childhood fantasies, adventures, and mementos. Anything that touches him, the moon child will carry inside forever.
In his second season, the tenacious crab slowly lets go of childhood and moves in broken lines towards his objective, wary, watchful, ever prepared to seize opportunity. One obstacle stands in the way: his inability to deal with real or imagined hurts and rejections. And his exaggerated personal reactions cause him a loss of objectivity. This can mean that he retreats from a situation prematurely, and for the wrong reason. At this point in his life, the emotions still have the upper hand.
In the third season, the Cancer native who has matured brings his nature under control. Then the practical instincts of the crab, combined with his incredible retention, imagination, intuition, and tenacity, come together, and the battle is won. It is won in the areas of the professions, the arts, the business world. Cancers are adaptable and can be found functioning anywhere. One thing is certain: he will be earning what he has and paying his own way.
In the fourth season, the crab will walk by the evening sea, his family beside him. They will share the moon and the night air. There will be laughter and warm feelings, and of course there will be a few tears. But most of all, there will be unlimited memories and immeasurable love. For Cancer, man and woman alike, to become is to feel. And they know the fulfillment of keeping feelings alive in a world that tends to turn cold.
I believe that cosmic religious sense is one of the strongest and noblest motives behind scientific research. Albert Einstein. I hold it for certain that the celestial bodies have in them certain other influences besides heat and light. I have practiced astrology, and you have not. If I do not condemn it, how can you presume to do so? Sir Francis Bacon. It is the stars above us, governs our conditions. William Shakespeare. Ye stars, which are the poetry of heaven, in your bright leaves we would read the fate of men and empires. Lord Byron. Astrology is astronomy brought down to earth and applied to the affairs of man. Ralph Waldo Emerson. We of the fixed stars have rejected the message of the wanderers of the sky. Do they not tell us of things to come as well as of things long past, buried in the racial memory of man? Henry Miller. It is the very error of the moon. She comes more near to earth than she was wont, and makes men mad. From Othello by William Shakespeare. We are born at a given moment, in a given place. And like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and the season in which we are born. Astrology does not lay claim to anything more. Carl Jung.